This morning, as we turn to John's Gospel, chapter 4, we're going to commence a short series on the subject of worship. And over the next few weeks, we will delve a little further into the subject and see what constitutes the true worship of the Lord. I came across a quote. I've used it before, but I think it bears repeating this morning. It says, "We talk about worship in our churches. We encourage worship in our churches. We believe that we worship when we come into our churches, and sometimes we actually do." I fear that quite a lot of what happens today in church settings is not worship. And so we want to look to the Lord for guidance and help us to what constitutes true and biblical worship. We want to be able to determine what worship is and what it is not. Now, when we talk about worship, the first thing that comes to mind for many people is singing. Singing is worship. Or perhaps preaching is worship. Perhaps even attending the services is worship. Now, things like singing and preaching and praying and attending services are not by themselves actually worship. They may serve to stimulate worship. They may actually be carried out in a spirit of worship, but they are not worship in and of themselves. So if these things that many believe to be worship are not actually worship itself, what then is worship? When we gather here on the Lord's Day, when we meet in the midweek and on a Friday morning, and we sing and we read